ZomTalk. I'm DrLola.
And I'm Emily.
And today,
we're going to be talking about
our Megacon experiences. Alright, welcome back. And again, we're going to talk about Megacon experiences. Basically, I got a comment from a viewer saying, did you really meet all those people of the pictures that you have on your wall in your video? Yeah, I did. And so did Emily. It's kind of our thing. We go together to Megacon. So, the first one, I guess we went to Megacon in 2014, 2015. We're going again next month, right? Isn't that when we go? And so, so these pictures are from 2015 and 2014 and also Walker Stalker Con. We went there last year. The first one is Jay Bonsinga. We met him and we got his autograph. Really nice guy. And he kind of fills in the gaps between the graphic novels and the TV show. And do you have a novel that he's written, Em?
Yeah, I do.
So this one is The Rise of the Governor, and he, like I said, he fills in the gaps. He also has another one, and this one's called Descent. The characters are largely the same. Matter of fact, if you haven't read them and you read them, you will see that the governor, after he left, and he was like a nomad wandering around, and I think her name was Lydia, he met her. It actually is in the novels. It tells you where the governor's from, his story, his backstory, and how he got there. So I really liked him. We're going to talk about our next experience is with Diane Guerra, I think that's how you say it, and Michael Morrissey. He's tall, isn't he? Yeah. So basically that was our first experience, getting a picture with, I guess, celebrities, and it was an amazing experience, and I never expected it to be like it was. It is rush in, rush out.
Yeah, it was
pretty crazy. It took, I guess, like you get a minute, I'd probably say, and you rush in, you rush out, you take your picture, you smile. But I noticed that Diane, she kind of gravitated towards you, didn't she?
Yeah, she like went straight to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave me a big hug.
Yeah.
She's very sweet.
So it was really interesting. After that, we went to a Walking Dead panel and we saw
Stephen Young.
Yes, we saw him. And of course the governor was there, Michael Morrissey, and Diane Guerra was there, and Sasha was there, and Lauren Cohen was supposed to be there, but
she was sick.
Right, she was. She got sick and she couldn't make it. So, the next thing we're going to do, I think this is Walker Stalker Con, Emily Kinney. And what a sweetheart Emily Kinney is. And we actually had two pictures with her. The other one is going to be in this clip. I'll put it and include it. We just had it electronically. And we had to actually take a picture twice with her because the first time I was wearing my sporty glasses and the light hit it like it is now. See that? See how the light's hitting it? And it looked really bad. So she actually agreed to do it again.
Well, Emily, she was very pretty. I loved her beautiful blonde hair. And she was very sweet, too. She gave me a lot of comments.
Yeah, and she's also really small.
Oh,
she
yeah.
looks bigger on The Walking Dead. She's really petite and skinny and very pretty and very sweet. It's really weird. Like, I don't know. None of these people had like an attitude. They were all so gracious and nice and humble. It was really neat. It makes you like them more. I mean, we like them because we're fans of the show and we love their acting. But just knowing that they're good people on top of it makes it better. And I just remembered something. We have an electronic picture we're going to include here of somebody else. Do you remember who that is? Who we met while we were waiting for Emily?
Ming.
Yeah, right. And he's from the Comic Book Men. And do you want to tell the story or you want me to tell the story? It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, you can tell the story.
Are you that shy? A little? Okay. So we're standing in line, and it's a long line waiting to get a picture with Emily. And I turned around, and there's this guy walking, and I immediately recognized him. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And he just broke rank and walked right over. It was really neat. And so we took a selfie. So the picture you see is a selfie, and he talked to us for a few minutes before he was headed off to wherever he was going, and that was really neat experience. Okay, the next one is
Greg Nicotero.
right, Greg Nicotero. I love Greg Nicotero. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love his work. He is a he's directed some of the Walking Dead episodes. He is a special effects guy, right? And look at how tall he is. And I'll tell you, the funniest thing is, like, when you go in, the cameramen are like saying, okay, set up, you know, so you've got to know like exactly what you want to do. So like we knew when we took this picture with Emily that we wanted to do sort of like the crossed arms look, you know, and so you got to kind of like know what you want to do. And some people bring props, some people dress up and they bring props and they take their pictures. Well, for some reason, when we walked in the room, his presence, he just draws you to him like a teddy bear. He's like a big teddy bear. And we just, for some reason, without communicating, both grabbed him on each side and just bear hugged him. Both of our arms are around him, bear hugging the heck out of him. And you see him smiling? He's smiling. And so the story behind the smile is this.
When you are finished taking your picture, you walk out of the room and there's this big line where you have to go collect your picture after it is printed out. And when we were in that line, we saw Greg Nicotero with all the security guards around him, and we took the picture and we called him over to come look at the picture. And so he walked over to us with the security guards, and he took his glasses out of his shirt pocket and he put them on, and he grabbed the picture and he said, "Huh, I never smile in these pictures. That's a good picture." And it was amazing.
Yeah, it was. And you know, I can't even express how appreciative I was that he did that. Like, you know, I was like, "Mr. Nicotero," and he just came right over. He broke rank. And the weird thing was is that like everybody, once he got over to us, people started realizing that he was there, and then they formed like a circle all around us, snapping pictures and filming, and it was really surreal. I'm like almost in shock that this guy came over and he grabbed the picture out of my hand, and just a sweet man, sweet person. You know, it's nice to see, you know, people get famous and they're stars, and it's nice to see, I mean, I don't know how they do it, because there's tons of people, fans that want to meet these people, but they take that time. This is at a Megacon. This was last year, I believe. Who are they?
That is Norman Reedus and Michael Rooker.
Yeah, really nice. Now, if you can see my Norman Reedus, what is he doing?
He is putting his chin on my head. I was just like so excited to meet Norman Reedus. He is an awesome actor in The Walking Dead, and I just blew up in excitement when he put his head. He just like sat his chin on my head for the picture, and I felt his beard on my head. And then when we went to go get the picture, I was like, oh, he did put his chin on my head.
Right. And he said, I think he said, "Oh, what a beautiful girl," or something. He said something like that, didn't he? Yeah. And this picture came out cool. Again, we did not communicate to them like what we were going to do. And they just like, Norman grabbed Em and put his chin on her. And then Michael Rooker's pointing, and it just turned out really great. Of course, I feel like a geek because I got the thumbs up. But, you know, I don't look as cool as Norman Reedus. I just look like, you know. But it was great. And then before we had this taken, I actually got a picture with Michael Rooker for my mom. She's a huge Michael Rooker fan, and she's been watching him in films from his first film that he's ever made. And it's called Portrait of a Serial Killer, I believe. And anyway, so I wanted to get a picture of just me and Michael Rooker. And so I was telling him, actually, I don't even know how we got extra time, because usually you're like in and out. But I had an opportunity, like I was telling him my mother just loves you, and I want to take a picture with you for my mom. And he just grabbed me and bear hugged me. And I don't know if you can see this leather jacket that he's got on, but he smushed my face all up in his jacket. I kid you not. So this was actually the second time that we met him, and he actually remembered that he took a picture with me for my mom when we did this. And that's how I wound up next to Michael Rooker. And then, of course, Norman saw Emily and was like, oh, what a pretty girl. You know, I don't even think I got to say hi to him. He was just like, oh, what a pretty girl. You know, so, and then after that, there was a Michael Rooker talk panel, right, where it was just Michael Rooker. He's talking about his filming on Guardians of the Galaxy, Walking Dead, things like that. And Emily actually got to talk to him.
They asked people if they wanted to come up and ask Michael Rooker any questions about his movies that he has been in, and I actually went up into that line to ask him a question. Oh my god, I had like butterflies in my stomach. I was so nervous. But I took that microphone and I asked him this question. I asked him, in The Walking Dead, how did he get that knife arm thingy on? And he actually had a funny story for that one. His story, it was very funny. He said that when he was putting his jacket on over the knife arm thingamajigger, the lady that was helping him put it on, he actually almost stabbed her with the knife. It was pretty scary, but it was pretty funny too.
Yeah. Oh my god, what happened?
I don't know.
We switched. All right, well, finish telling the story.
Okay, so, with Michael Rooker, he had his microphone so that we could hear him too when he was responding to me, and he leaned down close to me and looked at me directly in my eyes, and it was really cool. I got a close-up.
'Cause he was close. Yeah, he was close to you.
It was
cool. He was really nice too.
Yeah.
And his arm? What did you figure out with the arm thing?
His knife arm thing, it wasn't computerized. It was really on his arm. And every time they filmed him, he put it back on his arm.
You know, I remember like hearing something about when he was on the ground filming, he had trouble standing up because the knife was on his arm and he couldn't like push his body up. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we also met Michael Cuditz, who plays Abraham. It was a long line. We waited a long time to meet him. But when you go to things like this, if you don't get a picture with them and you just want a signature, an autograph, you can bring your own item for them to autograph, or they have pictures set out that you can pick one and have them autographed. So that's what we did. We picked a picture. We had Michael autograph it, and we actually took a selfie. So that's going to be on our somewhere in our show too. And he was really nice. His hair was red, but it wasn't as red. And I think that's one of the questions I asked him, wasn't it? Like, is your hair really red? And he's like, yeah, it's red like this and not like that. You know, so they dye it for the show. Oh, wait, you met Mika and Lizzie, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Meeting them, it was very cool. Mika's name was Kyla Kennedy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and Lizzie, her name was Brighton Sharbino.
She had a hard name to pronounce, the last name.
I asked Brighton if she was really dating Chandler Riggs because on the websites that I've been on, it said that Brighton and Chandler were dating.
Ooh, is it true?
And I asked her, and she said no, she doesn't even have a boyfriend yet. So I figured out that the online sources do lie.
Yeah, they do. And then So there was like this eagle thing. I think there were some people from the Game of Thrones there. There was some people dressed up like the Game of Thrones. I don't watch that show. And Kyla and Brighton, I think they went over. They were like talking to the actors, and they took some pictures and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to see. And then you also talked to Tyler Williams, who plays Noah. And I didn't get to talk to him, but Emily did.
Yes, he was very nice and sweet. I asked him a question. I asked him if he was sad when he died in The Walking Dead because of Nicholas, and he said yes, he was very sad that he died in The Walking Dead.
Did make a comment from afar. I'm like, don't worry, she didn't see your death, and his comment was like, good, it was pretty gruesome. That's pretty much the stories we have, and we'll include some pictures that we didn't show you in our video. Next month we are going to Megacon. We plan on bringing our camera and film some stuff and take some pictures so that we can share it with you. Megacon is held every year, and it's in Orlando, Florida. I want to say thank you for watching, and if you have any questions about our Megacon experiences, put them below. The next video is going to be a discussion about the best weapons to use in the zombie apocalypse. So guys, I guess that's the end of our show, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!